how's it going, everybody? Mirkwood Strider here. Welcome to episode 4.5 on Shield Wall Warrior build. So we're going to be going through the build plan process using a helpful tool called Path of Building. I strongly recommend if you want to get into this game or Path Exile 1, which is already fully fleshed out and roaring to go with so many amazing expansions until this comes out free. Path Exile 2, that is. Strongly recommend it. It's a great way to theory craft your builds and kind of get an inkling of where to go and how to go. However, in Path of Exile 1, it was difficult to reset your skill tree, so it kind of punished you if you didn't do it appropriately from the get-go. However, Path of Exile 2, I believe, you'll be able to exchange currency, gold, in order to reset nodes. Now, I'm like, oh, cool, that's fine, but some of these trees can get quite large, especially the closer you get to level 100. That's why it's important to go on through. And I got a couple highlighted targets that I want to get. Now, there's so much in these passive skill trees that you can never have everything that you want. You have to have compromises and you have to have consolidation of skills. Because if you spread yourself out too far, you're just going to have a wet noodle of a character. So, I'm going to be focusing on block chance, shield armor, stun threshold, and stun buildup. Now, on the bottom part, it has search. Let's do block chance. Now, it highlights the nodes, and if you hover over it, it shows you the quickest path to it. However, just because it's the quickest path for that one thing that you want doesn't necessarily mean that's the goal. So, the quickest path to here might be great. However, we might not do anything on that top portion, and we might do something on the bottom portion. So the path going up through the top and down wouldn't be ideal. However, okay, so the block, I probably won't go anywhere up here. Let's see, 4% to maximum block chance, block chance, block chance. Okay, that's pretty decent. Let's see if we can't increase defenses from equipped shield. The increased defense from the equipped shield will actually increase the damage of the ability shield smash. So, oh my, I might have to spend a lot of points to get up there. Increase armor from equipped body armor, increase energy shield. Nah, energy shield's not important. Okay. For my build, that is. Some builds go solely off energy shield. Alright, so that's a super strong tree. I don't think I'll go any further than this. Let's see what this tree is. Increase damage while holding a shield. Block chance. Damage holding shield, block chance. Oh. 1% increased damage per 1% chance to block. That's where I'm probably going to get a lot of my damage from. Lay Siege. What an ability. Okay, so I'll temporarily click on here. That's the quickest path. We'll be able to pick up several nodes along the way. Let's bring it on down here. Let's see. No. I think I'll stick with this. Your heavy stun buildup empties 50% faster. That's going to be quite good. Because when you block, you have that stun buildup. So that's why I'm going to spec into stun threshold as well. Now, I'm not going to be able to have enough points, I don't think, to increase thorn damage as well, as much as I'd like to just stop hitting yourself and just have them delete each other. So I'm going down in here, getting that 15% increased damage from the equipped shield, 25% increased chance to block if you blocked with active block recently, 50% increased defense from equipped shield. So if I block and then I do my shield slam, it's going to deal even more damage. Bet. Increase attack speed while holding shield. I don't necessarily need that attack speed. Now it might be good, but every point is valuable. You want to get maximum amount of value you can from the points you invest. And you can circle back around. Like, if I want to unlock it later on, I just have to put in 1 point. But I have to get there first. Oh, looks like I can't go through on there. Let's see. If I plan on going up and possibly getting to there, we're going to have to probably renegotiate how we go through the rest of this. Gonna have to get that. That'll put me at level 37. Level 39. Alright, block chance. Block. Recover 20 life when you blocked, plus 2% maximum block chance. 80% less knockback distance for blocked hits. Okay. What's on here? 4% increase attack damage per 75 item, armor, and evasion rating on equipped shield. Attack skills deal 10% damage while holding a shield. I'll take it. Now, I don't know how much a max shield armor rating will be. Like, if it can only get like 150 armor on a shield max, which is probably incorrect. I'm gonna hold off on getting that node until I'm sufficiently up, probably close to when I unlock maps. Then I'll work on investing that one. But until then, I'm only at level 44 now. Okay, what's up in here? So I have, let's see, if you go on over into calcs, it has literally all the nerd numbers, everything that you want to know. However, it doesn't have necessarily the block chance all updated, because in order for it to take that into consideration, you have to put in your skills and put in your items as well in order for it to pop out the calculations. Now, because I don't know what items to look for or anything like that, because I'm going in completely blind, I'm not going to have that. However, if you hover over it, it'll show, hover over and click, it'll show what you have in the tree. So right now, I have a total of 50% increased block chance from the tree, which also means I have 50% increased damage from the tree. So every time I get more increased block chance, that's more increased damage. But 50%, let's see what we have. Your hits cannot be evaded by heavily stunned enemies. Okay, stun build up, stun build up, stun build up. Recover 50% of maximum life when you heavy stun a rare or unique enemy. That will be probably essential for survivability if I get bopped. I don't know much about break armor, so I'm going to hold off on that for now. This will bring us up to 45. So we're at the block chance. Let's look up stun threshold. Okay, so here we are at stun thresholds highlighted. Now, I don't want to get knocked back and staggered while I have my shield up. That's why stun threshold will be very important when we're coming on through. You always want to look all throughout the nodes and try to find the closest ones to what you have. Increased life regeneration rate while moving. Okay. 12, 24. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Stun threshold, increased armor, extra strength, stun threshold, armor. I'll grab you, and you. What's down here? Oh, we got more increased block chance, life gain when block, plus 2 to maximum block chance. Oh, that's gonna be quite nice. We'll swing on through. More stun threshold, 30%. Wait, 30% increased elemental ailment threshold. I believe ailments are frozen, ignited, and whatever the shocked one is. Let's see, increased stun threshold, 5 strength, increased maximum life, 10% increased stun threshold for each time you've been hit by an enemy recently. I wonder if it, even if you block, if it counts. Because if that's the case, that's extremely strong, but we're already at level 56. I'll put the points in there for now. I don't think I'll be able to make it around and go into there. Stun, 30% increased stun buildup and threshold. That's two of the things I'm looking for. Yep, we're grabbing you and you. That brings us to level 62. At level 62, we should be close to endgame and getting to maps. Maps is usually around 65 from what I've read. If it's anything like Path of Exile 1. Now, let's look up shield armor. Is that what it's called? Shield armor? No. Increased defense. Equip shield. Help if I spelt it correctly. So increased defenses from equip shield. We got one node there. One node there that I'm not going to grab yet. Block chance, increased defense from shield. So if I just go on over and just grab that, 15% reduced slowing potency debuffs on you. Increased block chance, 5 mana gained while blocked. I'll do it for that 12% increased block chance. That's... Ooh, I don't know. Block chance, increased stun threshold. Stun threshold, stun threshold, stun recovery. I'll take those 2 points off. I'll keep the increased defense from equip shield. So right now I'm at level 65. I think I'll just grab that. Stun recovery, 40% increase. Stun recovery, generate 5% maximum life over 1 second when stunned. I mean, that could be strong. If I have survivability issues when I get closer to this level, I'll pop on over and grab that. Oh man, but that's so much damage over here. How many points is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll attribute that in. We're at 73. 73. That's already extremely high. We'll put these points in. Reduce global defenses. What does that mean? Well, let's move the path of building over to the side. Grab onto the actual tree. And reduce global defenses. Armor, evasion rating, energy shields that are the standard defenses. Other protective stats such as resistances do not count as defenses. So wide barrier. So it reduces energy shield, recharge per second, armor, evasion rating, all for block chance. Okay. I mean, that's a good trade-off. You don't need to defend if you block it. But let me bring back onto this path of building. That brings us to level 80. I'm going to take these off and grab that maximum block chance and keep it there and cut that nice and thin. Alright, this is level 79. Now, let's see if we can modify this and improve any of the path. If we can cut out a point here or there, it'll definitely help. Now, increase stun buildup, area of attack damage. We got stun threshold, stun buildup, which is gonna really contribute, because when I stun the enemy, I'll be able to stop blocking and increase my, reduce my own stun threshold. Hover and over. Got those points. That's all allocated as much as I can. I feel like if there's anything on this way, increased life regeneration rate on low health, low life, low life. 20% increased armor if you consumed endurance charges. I don't know enough about endurance charges. Increase accuracy rating, plus 10 to dexterity. This is all bleeding. I don't need that. Break 10% increased armor. I'm not going for break armor. And build up, attack speed, life regeneration, life leech. No. Let's see. Now, if empowered attacks deal 30% increased damage. Well, the Warcry skills. Inherent loss. Ooh, rage. I think I have. Let's move this on over. And G. Rising shield. Guard. Oh, so that gives me guard. That's what I was thinking of. Ancestry. Ancestrally boosted. Skill effect duration. More stun threshold. There we go. Supported skills grant 3 rage on melee hit. That's the resonating shield. Now if we look at what rage is, rage grants 1% more attack damage per 1 rage gained to a maximum of 30. You lose 1 rage every 0.1 seconds if you have not taken damage or gained rage in the last 2 seconds. Only 1 hit every 0.5 seconds can cause you to gain rage. Okay, so every half a second I have to use this in order to boost it up. Alright, so rage increases damage by 1%. Inherent rage loss starts 1 second later. Ooh. That's pretty strong. So instead of having the rage loss start at 2 seconds, I'll be able to multiply that by almost 3. So 2, 3, 4, 5. And then maximum rage is increased with a slower rate. I don't know what 20% slower of 0.1 seconds would be. It's probably 0.1.2. But I am terrible at math. So don't trust that. The accuracy rating is doubled, never deal critical hits. See, we got the major notes that we want. The major picking points, but we're only at level 83 with the max level of 100. This will be what I have for now. So let's look at the tree that we have presently. Let's bring you back up and out. Close that. Bring that up to the half point. Okay. So we already have this path started. Now, the real damage will come from Lay Siege. That'll allow everything else to really start ramping up. However, since we're already here, I think we'll stick through the path that we got going. We'll stop here. We won't go in on the interior of this node, and we'll bring it on down to this branch. Once we fill in this branch, we're gonna double back on down to here, which is there in the node tree, and then start branching down and go straight for here. Straight for Lay Siege. That. And yeah, I think that'll be the build we go with. Now, the build's going to be subject to change as we test stuff out and get a better grip of things. but the last part that I'll go up to will be up here in this portion. Just because it's so far away from everything else, and I'd rather maximize the amount of points that I have for now that I can use to immediately benefit me. Because every time I think I'm strong and then I go to a new area, I just get whopped. But in Elden Ring, get good. That's Mirkwood Strider signing off. Hopefully you learned something, and I strongly recommend getting Path of Building. It'll be extremely helpful in theory crafting, and there's tons of YouTube videos on it. Y'all have yourself a good one. Later.